Let's go, baby! Big dubs, Jason Spezza with the shootout winner. How you doing tonight, Clarkey?
I'm doing great. It was a great dub tonight, and we got a lot to talk about, but I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing real good, even better now that the Toronto Maple Leafs have padded some more comfort to that lead, adding another point to the lead for first place in the North Division. Now up over the Winnipeg Jets by 4 with 1 game in hand. Feels nice to put a W in the win column tonight. Big dub for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a must-win, but it was pretty damn close, and I think that Leafs pulling it out tonight on the road, big win. Big win.
Big win, and in case you missed it, let's show the Jason Spezza shootout winner.
Campbell goes to 8-0. There's the only goal of the shootout. As Connor Hellebuck has this go off his skate and in.
That right there, some vintage Jason Spezza.
Jeez, yeah, that was nice. I mean, it was a patience game on that goal. I'm looking at it on my second monitor here, and he was just waiting. And I think that goal itself showed his veteran experience. How about you? What do you think of that?
Yep, that right there is patience. He waits for Connor Hellebuck to make the first move, and he stays with it, stays with his move the whole time. He's very successful on the penalty kill. We see the comment section coming in right here.
Oh, yeah.
We got a bunch about Jack Campbell. We got stuff to talk about concerning this power play unit. Let's start off with Jack Campbell. Peter Rogers says Campbell is number 1. And I think right now, Jack Campbell's number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to add on to that. I was grandstanding about Anderson the other week, but Jack Campbell has proven recently that he deserves to be the number 1 right now on this team, and just can't argue that. What's your thoughts on him lately?
I mean, he's been stellar. 8-0-0 record with 2 shutouts throughout this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's missed a lot of time. Been dealing with injuries, nagging, lingering injuries throughout the season. But when he's been available to the Maple Leafs, he's been outstanding. But the most important thing, the best asset in any sport is availability. And if Jack Campbell can stay healthy, this is his net from here on out. Frederik Andersen, he's going to get his share of starts as well. But right now, this is Jack Campbell's net.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. We got some comments coming in here. Peter Rogers says, so many saves tonight. Yeah, he was, I mean, at some points, Campbell looked like a fish out of water. Like he was flopping all over the place, but it was working. So even if it doesn't look pretty all the time, he's saving stuff right now. So right now, he's got to be our number 1. Ash also says, hopefully Campbell's winning pushes Anderson to play better. That's an interesting point. I mean, there's definitely some psychology. I know prior to the show we were talking. Do you think Anderson is sitting in a room right now angry?
Or
he's a professional athlete. I don't know.
He's a team player. He's probably okay. There's 2 sides to this. He's probably happy that this team's winning, but he's obviously looking towards this offseason and thinking, this is going to really hurt my pockets because he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah, it's a key year for him in the signing, and Other side of 30.
I like what he says, though. Hopefully it pushes Anderson to play better. Hopefully it lights a fire under him. Imagine having a healthy Frederik Anderson and a healthy Jack Campbell going into the playoffs. That is the ideal situation.
For sure.
Duncan Russell says, Campbell has been amazing when we need him to, whether it's holding the lead, helping a comeback. He's stolen points for us. And is it just me, or does this team play better in front of Jack Campbell?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I don't know what it is, if it's psychological or it's just recently they've become more together as a team, especially as a defensive unit. But it does look like the Leafs have been playing better and tighter up front in front of their goaltender recently. And Campbell, he's been somewhat of the beneficiary of that, although he definitely has been playing good too. So maybe that's ignited confidence in the Leafs.
Yeah, I think he's got confidence, and the team in front of him has a lot of confidence in his ability just based off what he's been doing. And he's a great guy. You watch any post-game interview with him, he never takes the credit. He's giving it to Jason Spezza or the guys up front, and that's a team player. That's what you love to see from your goaltender.
Yep. Yeah, he's hot right now. He's hot right now.
How about this comment, ASC? Spot on. We got a lot to talk about concerning this power play unit. 0 for 26 on the power play and still winning, which is a sign of a great team. So yes, sign of a great team, but this power play is very concerning. It's great to see that we can still win without our power play converting, but we need to see some contributions from our power play.
Yeah, I've seen a few comments already tonight. People are wondering about the power play. A few weeks ago it was about goaltending, and now it seems like about the power play. And yeah, it is a cause for concern, especially 4-on-3. Like, I thought we had some good shots there, and I got to give it to Hellebuyck. He stood on his head. But, we got to capitalize on opportunities like that, especially in overtime. Shootouts 50-50. We know that. Like, we can't just say we're going to win a shootout regardless. It's kind of like a flipping a coin. That's a cause for concern. And, yeah, we've been winning without it, but great teams have a great power play, and we need to get that fixed.
Now, there's a few things we could do to fix this. I think this power play unit needs to be shaken up a little bit. And I have a few suggestions for what the Maple Leafs might want to do, might want to look into doing this. First of all, Joe Thornton, I know he's got great playmaking ability throughout his entire career, but he has looked slow. It's no secret he's looked slow recently. He started the season off with 9 points in the first 9 games, and in the past 16 games, he's had just 3 points. He has not been a factor that's helped out the Maple Leafs recently. I think you got to look into taking him off the power play unit, give some more time to a guy like Alex Galchenyuk or Wayne Simmons, who can be a net front presence. Before I move on to the next point, can I get your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, Thornton's had his time to shine, and we also know what he's going to offer. I mean, he's been in the league for 20-plus years, so we know what he can and cannot do at this point of his career. But I think those are some great points. Give some other guys opportunities, guys that haven't had that ice time or as much recently. Galchenyuk's a great point. He hit the bar tonight, and he's looking sharper and sharper. So I think those are some great points. And comment what you guys think, too. Do you think that we need to mix up the lines on the power play? But on your second point, what were you thinking about that?
I'm thinking Morgan Rielly hasn't really been looking hot on that power play unit. You could maybe move him down to the second power play unit and put TJ Brody up there on that first power play unit. He can play the same style as Morgan Rielly, and I think give him the opportunity, and he might be more of a factor up there.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I think that there's some we as Leaf fans sometimes we put some players, and I think Rielly's one of them on our defensive end, on a pedestal where we think of them so highly. Like Rielly's a number one for us, and Rielly's a lock for being a number one. But we have to call a spade, and maybe recently he hasn't been playing like a number one, and maybe he hasn't been that quarterback on the power play that we need. And I know that TSN tonight, anyone watching on that stream, said that Leafs are second last for offensive contributions from their defensemen. So that's an issue too. And if Rielly's our number one defenseman a couple of years ago, getting 80 points a season, he's supposed to be our leader for getting offense from our back end. So I love that point. And everyone, keep shooting in your comments all night. We got a long show ahead of us, so let's get those comments in here.
Well, Morgan Riley tonight, he didn't have a good game. Yeah, he's had a long stretch here where he hasn't put together many good games, and tonight was no different. That goal, I put a lot of that blame on the one goal against Toronto on Morgan Riley. He pinched and he failed to get back. It was didn't make the play defensively in his own end, and the Jets capitalized on basically what was a 2-on-1 because Riley didn't get back in time.
Yeah, that goal, no chance to save that on Campbell's end. That was tough, but yeah, he got caught pinching, and I mean that's what you're going to get to when players are more aggressive on the defensive end.
And ASC here says Riley can't quarterback the PP, the power play. Put Muzzin on defense. He's got a harder shot. We saw Jake Muzzin on some Los Angeles King power play units way back when they won the Stanley Cup. So this could also be another thing we look into doing. I think some changes need to be happening for this power play unit.
Yeah, great point, AC. I think Joe Shelder, he's got a bold point here. He's saying people say TJ is Mo's best partner. Might be true, but I think TJ is our best D-man, not Mo, as in Morgan Riley, and that's a bold point. But Joe Shelder with the Leafs logo on the back of his head. Wow, I love that photo. Says that Brody is our best defenseman, and maybe that
he's been
recently. That's true. Yeah,
this year he has been. He has been this season, for sure. I agree with that. From this season, TJ Brody has been the Maple Leafs' best defenseman, and defensively, the pairing of Jake Muzzin and Justin Hall has been our shutdown pairing. Morgan Riley has struggled mightily at times this season. There's been small stretches where he's looked really good, flashes of an old self, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together.
Yeah. John Howard is screaming frustration here. He says, bring in players through the trade. Just do it. Damn it. Wow. That's a frustrated Leafs fan right now. Sitting top of the division. Come on, John. You can't be that upset.
Big dubs tonight. Big dubs tonight.
Yeah, no. But that's a good point you made about Riley. Like, that is something we need to think about more. But who would you say is our best defenseman this season?
This season, TJ Brody. TJ Brody this season. If we're talking about shutdown, I'm just going to put a pairing on it. I'm not going to say who our best. I think TJ Brody has definitely been our best defenseman this season. Best defensive pairing in the defensive zone has been Jake Muzzin and Justin Hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably have to agree. I mean, at the start of the season, I would have said Hall, but recently he's slowed down in form. But yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. You want to get into some 3 stars of the game, Clarkey?
Sure, I'm probably going to get roasted on mine, but let's go with yours first.
All right, my 3 stars of the game. First star, you got to give it to him. Jack Campbell, of course. 8-0-0 with the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. Great start for him. Connor Hellebuck, always standing on his head out there. Amazing performance once again. Second star of the game. And the third star, the game-winning goal in the shootout. And an assist, which moved him into 100th place all-time points list. Jason Spezza, third star of the game. Who you got?
That's a solid list. Everyone shoot in your 3 stars. I tried to mix it up a bit. I got Jack Campbell number 1. No arguments there. Just because, he's been standing on his head lately, and he's a rock in the back. Not much to say there. Second, I got Andrew Kopp. I mean, I don't know. Like, I did not pay attention to this guy much before the game, but I think he's a workhorse, and he played with Hyman down in Michigan, and him and Hyman play almost a similar game in some sense. And he had a goal tonight. I think that he was a bit of a presence for the Jets on the offensive end, so I'll give it to him instead of Hellebuck. Mix it up a bit. And then third star, I got Hyman. I mean, Hyman did not score tonight, but let's call a spade a spade. He's been the best Leaf offensively for the past month, and Hyman is a workhorse right now. And maybe not sheer points wise, but I think that Hyman's definitely overall, whatever line he plays on, he makes them better. And I know TSN was tooting his horn tonight. They were talking about him all night, but I do think he had a really big game, and he just is always causing something in offensive end. And for that reason, I got him number 3 just for that work ethic tonight.
Yeah, see here says Campbell, 3 stars of the game. It's like the Wayne Gretzky walk-off. I mean, yeah. Duncan Russell says, I thought Bogosian had a decent game. Speaking of Zach Bogosian, he reached 200 career points tonight with an assist on the first and only regulation goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And milestones for Jason Spezza. He moves into 100th all-time on the NHL's points list with 960. He's now tied with Henrik Zetterberg. So he's in some elite company. Watch for him to continue moving up the charts.
Yeah, I mean, when you're top 100, there's only going to be GOATs in that list. There's only going to be great players all time. And I think, and I'm curious what Leafs Nation thinks too about, he used to be our nemesis, but then he went to Dallas, kind of forgot about him. But he's been a great contribution to the Leafs this year. Do you think we need Spezza back next year? I think right now, yeah, he's hit or miss some games, but he's been a big contribution for the Leafs this year. What do you think?
I think it would be smart to re-sign him. It'd be really smart to re-sign him. He's going to give this team a discount. I mean, he did it this past season. He's on the league minimum contract, and he's playing
$700K. Yeah.
That's crazy to think. Jason Spezza is on a league minimum contract with all he brings to the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's got the scoring ability, the veteran presence. He's got everything you want in a player right now, and having that experience, I think it's a valuable asset down the stretch. So, yeah, I'm bringing back Jason Spezza if he wants to make another run for it next year.
Yeah, he's definitely got gas in the tank. And I think the comments here, a few people definitely agree.
I take him back, absolutely. Spezza will hit 100 or 1,000 points by next season if he doesn't retire. It's definitely a possibility.
He's 37, right? Maybe he wants to do something else with his life.
Yeah, it's a possibility that he retires. I mean, Jumbo Joe Thornton playing till 41. Let's talk about him for a second, though. Joe Thornton, it was all fun and games at the beginning of the season. 9 points in his first 9 games with the team. It was a great. I thought he had a great chemistry with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews, but that line was carried by Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. Thornton can still pass the puck really well. He's great for that, but he's got to get less power play time, and he just looks way too slow recently. Maybe we should do some load management or something when it comes to Jumbo.
Some Kawhi Leonard load management, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, his legs definitely aren't as young as they used to be, but I think you make some good points. I think that's the other thing, too, you need to consider, or not you, but in general, is that when you play a guy like Thornton on the first line, you're taking away key valuable minutes from a Hyman, from another guy you could slot in there. So it's like an opportunity cost, really. It's not only that maybe he's not performing, but it's also that you could be performing a lot better with another guy on that first line or on the power play. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think recently he's slowed down, but I would just say we gotta wait till the playoffs. We gotta wait to what he can do in the playoffs, because that might change everything. If he can come around in the playoffs magically, I don't know if that will happen, but come around and have some huge contributions down the stretch, be a veteran leader, then I think that'll be worth it 100%. But I get what you're saying.
It would be nice to see him just like, I was holding all this energy just for the playoffs, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. John Howard says age is just a number. I mean, yeah, Joe Thornton's very well conditioned. He's in great shape.
He's in great shape. Oh, yeah.
And he was playing in Davos, Switzerland, before the season even started. He could have just enjoyed his time off, but he kept going. And I'm sure he enjoyed his time in Davos. Beautiful out there, but he continued playing. He continued playing throughout the entire offseason when he could just be resting. Nick Robertson might be coming back in the near future, so
Good
maybe
point.
he gets some more time for Jumbo as well. Let's see what everyone in the comment section says. Joe should be helping, coaching on the bench.
That's savage.
I don't think Jumbo is a first-line player in this point in his career. Definitely not. Joe will be dynamic. Jumbo Joe taxi squad for the playoffs.
Wow.
I think he's got some. He's still got some stuff to offer for the playoffs, but right now he's just been really slow, and it's hard to watch at times.
Yep, I agree.
So how about those block shots? The Toronto Maple Leafs. Look, we were saying how it seems as if they play together more when Jack Campbell's in net, and some statistics to support that. Toronto blocked 17 shots tonight. They blocked 18 shots last night, and that's the most they've had since March 3rd when we defeated the Edmonton Oilers 6-1. The Toronto Maple Leafs are blocking a lot of shots. They're getting in the way of playing playoff hockey right now against a playoff caliber team in the Winnipeg Jets. These are real, these are the games that are preparing us for the playoffs. 1 versus 2, trying to give ourselves a cushion. It's great to see the block shots out there.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, hopefully we can keep it up. But yeah, the past 2 games, for instance, 17 block shots each night. And the Leafs just look like not only the block shots, but they look active when they were in their defensive zone. They're clogging up the passing lanes, really trying to protect in front of the net. They look like a more cohesive unit defensively. So I agree with you. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if they've just brought it together recently because we didn't see this a few weeks ago. Or maybe it's because Campbell's in net now. Maybe it's a new situation. Campbell's given them energy or more confidence. But yeah, I'd say that the Leafs are definitely playing better defensively, especially in their own zone. And block shot shows that tonight. But I'd like to see, what do people think? Do you think that's just the Leafs, the fans? Do you think that the Leafs are just brought it together, or do you think it is a combination of Campbell being in net? Because maybe that does have an impact on how the Leafs have played defensively. I think the goaltender, is part of that defensive unit, kind of. So, do you think that that's had? Yeah, do you think that that's had an impact too, where they've switched up the goaltending? He's hot, so their play has been brought up because of that.
Well, personally, I think that this team, it's just they've gotten so much extra confidence just knowing that their last line of defense is Jack Campbell, and he's been performing this way. He has 2 shutouts so far through 8 games. Freddie doesn't even have 1. And, I mean, like I said, you can't blame that all on Freddie. But Jack Campbell has been outstanding this year, and right now this is his net.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some comments here too. Campbell rules.
Campbell's the number 1 goalie. He's definitely making his case for it, Chuck. He's never been a number 1 goaltender. And here's another comment. People forget Campbell was a high draft pick. He was snake bitten for a long time. He's faced a lot of injuries, and he's been behind some good goalies. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Quick. He's been behind a lot of
Cup winners,
goaltenders. So he's had a tough time getting any playing time with all the injuries and the good goalies in front of him. Maybe he's a late bloomer, but I like seeing this from Jack Campbell so far.
I agree.
What's your favorite brand of soup? Campbell's.
Chunkies.
Campbell's Chunky Soup. I got a TikTok doing the Campbell's Chunky Soup. Campbell helped the Kings win the cup.
Yeah, somewhat.
I
mean, we got to throw another opinion here. Samuel Patterson says Campbell is not a number 1.
I didn't see that. Samuel Patterson says Campbell is not a number 1. he's never been a number one goalie throughout his career. He's never really gotten the opportunity to be. But right now he's playing like a number one goaltender. And you can't discredit what he's been doing this year. If Frederik Andersen, say just theoretically, he's cleared for the next game, I'm not throwing Frederik Andersen to start the next game, even if he came back. I'm letting Jack Campbell ride until we run into a back-to-back doubleheader, or until Campbell starts to struggle.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I mean, I'll start with Samuel's point. I think, that's one thing we need to consider as Leaf fans is that Campbell, throughout his career, whether it's been a situation where he's backed up the quick or whatever, he just didn't have the opportunities, but he was not a number one. So we can't get ahead of ourselves and start proclaiming like Campbell's going to be the next Brodeur or even Hellebuyck. Like, we need to slow the brakes down. It's the problem with Leafland is we get way too ahead of ourselves. So we got to take it one step at a time, and he's a hot goaltender right now, but we can't just start saying like, oh, Campbell's going to be our solution for the next 5 years, and he's going to get us a Stanley Cup. Like, we got to take it one game at a time.
Okay, Samuel here follows up his comment, says he's getting an opportunity as we speak, I think. If he can stay healthy and play at this level, I stand corrected, but I don't see it based on history here. And you can make the case, yeah. But let's hope it continues. Let's hope it continues. I really think the team play in front of Jack Campbell has been better. And I think Jack Campbell, he's been exceptional recently.
Yeah. That's a little bit off topic, but he asked nicely, and this is the thing. This is what I love about people that ask nicely in comment section. Drop the Puck said, at Maple Leafs Media, what are your thoughts on Elliot Friedman saying Leafs rang Sabres to ask about Ullmark for Anderson, which would create more cap space for another addition at the deadline? What are your thoughts?
I'm just trying to think how old. Okay, so Ullmark is 27.
I can look it up.
He's 27. I'm just so this season he's got a 2.49 goals against average with Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't really want to trade Frederik Andersen right now. What's Ullmark's contract like is another concern.
2.6 mil.
For how many years?
Just 1 year, I think.
Okay, so either way, we're going to have to re-sign
1 year. 1 year.
Okay, so the question becomes, do you want 1 year with Frederik Andersen or 1 year with Linus Ullmark? And you got to consider that Ullmark's going to be coming into a new organization, new players in front of him. If it's just 1 year, I might stick with Frederik Andersen.
Yeah, I'd probably say no. I just want to address the question because it is interesting, and I mean, it's a cap space situation. But I think we'll get into some speculation later about trades. You guys stay tuned for that. But what else were we planning on talking? Oh, we got more comments in here. But what else were we planning on talking about here?
Everyone, we're just going based off what people in the comment section, whatever.
There's a little more talk about Anderson. We should probably get back to that.
Dubas would have signed Anderson by now. By Anderson, JB, I don't think Frederik Andersen's resigning in Toronto. I really.
You don't think so?
No, I've had this stance since before the season even started. I don't see it happening. He's 31 years old. He's gonna want too much money. Team doesn't have the space for it, and yeah, I mean, if Jack Campbell continues performing like this too, he's got another year left on his contract. There's a possibility he takes over the starting role next season, depending on how the rest of the season plays out.
I mean, would you be more worried about him asking for money or term? Like, he's 31, 32, going on 32. He asked for like 3-4 years, going to 35 or 36.
Based off the performances we've seen from him this year and the massive decline in his play, the term.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is too, though, is sometimes goaltenders can hold up age. I mean, for instance, Mike Smith, we've seen him; he's 40 basically, and he's still playing pretty good, decent. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just time to let him go. But a lot of Leafs land is saying bye to Anderson here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's. I think Leafs Nation's ready to see Frederik Anderson go.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think they're, for the most part, this. Let's see, we got bye for.
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Boy. I mean, yeah. Listen. Okay, another comment from Drop the Puck. Friedman said he's heard Anderson's injury is worse than first thought. That's why they called Buffalo. So, see, I don't know if these are true. I'm gonna.
Yeah, is this rumors or is this true?
I'm hoping Drop the Puck is giving me credible information here, but I mean, okay, if that's the case, then yeah, you go for it. If Frederik Anderson, he's been dealing with injuries throughout the whole season, and if they're going to continue to linger, then yeah, you might have to consider it. But Allmark from the Sabres, he's a good goalie. He's a good goalie. He can be a good goalie, but he's been on a bad team in Buffalo right now. He's got good stats for being on that team, but joining with the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's integrating into a whole new lineup. It's a lot to take into consideration.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing too is he's on a horrible team right now. I mean, horrible team. So always got
Jack Campbell now has more wins. Wait, did the Sabres win today?
I don't know. I'll check it.
If the Sabres lost today, Jack Campbell has more wins than the Buffalo Sabres this year.
Sabres lost 3-2.
Of course they did. To who?
Boston.
That's close to Boston.
Who scored the goals here? Hall. Oh, I got Hall in my fantasy. He's horrible right now, man. Should at least get Hall.
Why do you still have Taylor Hall on your team?
Because, man, I love Hall. I mean, just a good Canadian boy, Kyle Oposo scored. I thought he was, done.
Jason Brooks going back to the power play here. Says the Leafs power play has been a disappointment. They aren't shooting enough, not getting bodies in front of the net like they were at the start of the year. Great points. They're passing the puck too much, and I think it's time to shake up this power play unit. What I suggested earlier was I'd like to see less of Jumbo Joe on the power play, maybe more of Wayne Simmons and Alex Galchenyuk. Mix those two in. Net front presence is right there. And maybe even Morgan Riley could come off that power play 1 unit, move him down to the power play 2 unit, give TJ Brody some time up there on power play 1.
Yeah, I think those are some great points, but I'm going to keep it more simple with my analysis. You know what I've noticed? And maybe it was because of his wrist, but maybe recently he's been shooting more, but Matthews hasn't been shooting a lot. And Marner's been more aggressive with shooting. Marner shot a lot more this season. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just been something I've observed. That Matthews hasn't.
We got a raid, bro.
We got a raid here.
Hot take hockey.
Oh,
raid.
Buddy.
Let's go.
We got to celebrate the big dub. There's a lot of fans in here now. Let's go. I love this. Let's go. This is what Leafs land is about. Shout out to Hot Take Hockey. Guy's a beauty. Guy is a beauty, and he's got all his fans in here. So let's go.
Let's go. Fired up. Let's go. Hot Take Hockey. Big Leafs win. Big dubs for the Maple Leafs tonight.
All caps, baby. All caps.
All caps. Big dubs. This win moves the Maple Leafs into a 4-point lead over the Winnipeg Jets. Big victory tonight. That extra 1 point. It's nice to get it.
You know what I haven't even said tonight? If you haven't already, smash the like button. I usually am repeating it like a broken record, but smash the like button. We appreciate this raid, Hot Take Hockey, and all the fans here. Looks like a lot of passionate hockey fans. So let's go. Shoot in your comments. Let's keep going with the good vibes and good times.
Let's keep it going. How about Jason Spezza? Let's show the shootout winner tonight. Vintage.
Campbell goes to 8-0. There's the only goal of the shootout as Connor Hellebuck has this go off his skate and in.
Woo! What a goal. Vintage Jason Spezza right there. Vintage.
I mean, you could have pulled out a stopwatch and at the end there, count a couple seconds. He was just waiting. It's like picking the candy out of a jar from a little baby, you know, just waiting. But
Old
beauty.
school goal.
With the Jets logo.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, hey, love to see it. You got to respect Jason Spezza.
Yeah. I mean, that's real. Recognizes real. I mean, Blake Wheeler, shout out to him for being a great iron player for your team. So, you know, everyone's got good players here. Uncle Spezza, Jason Spezza.
This is a really good comment from the Fozzie Bear. Leafs power play is predictable. The teams can defend it easy, and the Leafs need to mix it up. Put Spezza on the power play. Give him some more power play time. We've been talking about this a lot tonight because the Maple Leafs power play, the last 26 attempts, they've had 0 goals. 0 goals in the past 10 games on the power play. Not acceptable for a team trying to make a push for the North Division, make it push into the playoffs. So I suggest taking Jumbo Joe Thornton off there. He's just been too slow. And putting Galchenyuk, Wayne Simmons. Spezza would be another guy to give some more power play time to. And bumping down Morgan Rielly to the power play 2 unit from TJ Brody.
Yeah, spread the wealth. I mean, we got a lot of talent on our team, so let other guys get some opportunities here, and whether it's taking Riley off or Jumbo Joe, give someone some opportunity. You know, TJ Brody is described as refined. JP, so JP's feeling it with TJ Brody. I mean, he's looking good lately.
We have a comment here. Why not throw Hyman on the power play? Yes, we saw Hyman on the power play a bit tonight. So thank you for this comment. You'd like to see a bit more of Zach Hyman on the power play unit tonight, or in the future for sure. Absolutely. He's a great net front presence, workhorse. He could be a valuable asset on the power play.
Yeah, he definitely is a workhorse, and we gotta, you know, she's got a lot of explanation here in all caps. M. Paulie Young, you guys rock. Thank you. You rock too. Love the comment there, Paulie.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Keep commenting. Keep tuning in. If you haven't already, smash that sub button. This guy, I'm pointing it wrong. This guy works really hard. I come in once in a blue moon, but this guy's in here all the time, grinding for you guys. So smash the like button. Great content. Won't be disappointed.
Well, I know that actually, I've got 2 things that I want to talk about first for a second. Not about tonight's game, but I've got a guest coming on in a few weeks from now from Hockey Night in Canada, actually. You might know him. Kelly Rudy, former goaltender for the Los Angeles Kings, New York Islanders, San Jose Sharks. He will be joining the show on April 15th, prior to the Toronto Maple Leafs game that night. So that's some exciting news. Think of anything to ask him, just send me a DM, and I'll take some consideration into asking it. But it'll be a great interview, great guest to have on for sure. He's going to have a lot of great stories. And the other one, tomorrow I'll be releasing a video because I know how much all of you love trade talk videos.
Yeah, that's one thing Leafs fans love.
So this video will be a rewind, counting down the 5 greatest Toronto Maple Leafs trades of all time. The best for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to get into. Yeah, Kelly Rudy.
Kelly Rudy will be joining the show in a few weeks from now.
Kelly Rudy.
April 15th. Mark it on your calendars.
I'll be watching.
It'll be a fun show. And, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'll ask him about the high stick.
We got an interesting comment in here, right? Drop the puck. Just said, we need a hot take hockey collab. I mean, maybe you two should get together sometime.
I'd love to. He supports the channel quite frequently. He's given this channel a couple raids now, so big shout out to him once again. I'm always in his streams. He's got a lot of great stuff, so that'd be great. I'd really I'd like to do that sometime. I'll reach out to him. Hurt Locker, this trade is on there. But yeah, he was a starting goaltender when the Leafs lost in the conference finals to the LA Kings. So it's gonna be a fun guest to have on.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of years of hockey experience. Great. He was a goaltender in the NHL, and just years as an analyst in the Hockey Night in Canada studio. Great guest, and I couldn't be more excited to have him on.
He knows hockey. Simple as that. Every time he's on, there's some analysts that are talking heads and they just say stuff to get people going. But I feel like Kelly Rudy, everything he says, great analysis.
Passionate about the game. So if you haven't already and you're in the comments section, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's coming out from Maple Leafs Media. I'm always working to get new content out, trying to push it out more frequently. We got a bunch of post-game shows, some live reactions, other reaction videos, trade videos, anything. You can send recommendations, and I'm open to them. I will consider recommendations to post other content as well.
We got some comments in here.
Do we do this after every Leaf game? I come on after almost every Leafs game. Not exactly every Leafs game, but I do my best to come on here as frequently as I can.
I have to beg Jake to come on. Like I have to literally cry to him. I'm like, Jake, please, man, like let me on. Like, come on. I watched the game tonight. I got a lot to talk about. And he's like, no. I'm just kidding. No, Jake's good, but he's grinding all the time. So you got to sub to this channel. He's got a lot of great content. But there's one other comment in here that I want to get to. Is this true that? Or okay, yeah, you can go to that one too.
I have a trade deadline show.
Interesting.
Let's get some thoughts in the comments section, some feedback here, because I was considering a couple things. I mean, I could do a live stream for a couple hours. Could I do the whole day? That's a long time.
You should do a 24-hour stream.
That's a long time, but I mean,
you'll have one person watching at least at one second, one moment.
The thing is, trade deadline day, the Montreal Canadiens play Toronto too, so I'd go on after the game too. So what I was thinking is either do a couple-hour live stream during the day or release videos as trade happens. So whatever you would suggest, if you'd rather me make videos about specific trades that happen through the day or just one long trade deadline stream coverage, let me know.
Yeah, that's a great comment. I mean, the fans are giving you content ideas. What about that, eh?
Hey, that's what it's all about. It's what it's all about.
We aren't pushing some corporate agenda, but Durev's got a good comment in here too. That's a nice comment.
I'll make sure to tune in. Even though I'm a Jets fan, love watching real fans talk hockey, no matter the team. Keep grinding. Thank you, and respect to the Winnipeg Jets. Big respect to the Winnipeg Jets. They're a great team. They've got a great future out there in Winnipeg.
Can't chirp them.
Connor Hellebuck, man. Connor Hellebuck is unreal.
It's not human.
No, I mean, Jack Campbell's been unreal recently too, but wow. Hellebuck last year, Vezina Trophy winner. He's outstanding. He's a special goalie. The Leafs should trade for at least one more gritty player for the playoffs. What do you think of this comment, Clarkey?
Gritty player in terms of I'm guessing like a third or fourth liner, or that's what
like a Wayne Simmons type of player.
I know that what's his name, Sam Bennett was thrown a lot earlier in the season. Everyone kept talking about him. Sam Bennett this, Sam Bennett that. You couldn't go a day without hearing about him. But I don't know. Like, I guess I'd have to hear some names. I don't know who's going to be sellers at the deadline. But, maybe if there's an opportunity, yes. But I also don't think the Leafs need to drastically change at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd like to add another forward. I'd like to add another top 6 forward. We're testing out Alex Galchenyuk on that second line, and he's been good. Alex
Yeah, you got to give him more chances. You can't just give him like 5 to 10 games. Like
he's been good, but we need to add another left winger to really solidify that line. Just think about what another great left winger can do for this team, and I'm not talking Taylor Hall.
How about Taylor Hall, but Buffalo retains 6 of the 7 mil?
I think he can only retain half. So
that's true. That's true.
So
it's 8.
Like, it's $8 million. For 1 year.
Jeez. Yeah, so, never mind.
No, I'm not a big fan of the Taylor Hall thing, and he's not a player with much grit either. I think he has like 10 games of playoff experience. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Ash is saying a Tom Wilson type player. I don't know how many Tom Wilsons there are out there, though.
That would be ideal, though. That would be ideal.
Tom Wilson himself would be ideal.
If I could pick out any player that's not one of like the superstar players, like a Pasternak or Crosby, McDavid, this would be the type of player I go for. Tom Wilson. Imagine Tom Wilson in a Toronto Maple Leafs uniform. You might hate and despise the guy, but you'd love him if he was in a Maple Leafs uniform.
Yeah, it's like Kachuk, even like a guy like that. Even Scheifele tonight, seeing Scheifele push around our players. I mean, he's a great player, but yeah, John Howard, Clarkinator, buddy, how's it going, man? We're just having a good time. It's a great show here tonight. Everyone's comments, keep it coming.
Hurt
Keep your
Locker
comments coming.
8 million, 2 goals. He got his third tonight, didn't he? Still bad, but
I got him on my fantasy, eh?
Yeah, I had him on one of my fantasy teams early on, and Buffalo is just such a dumpster fire. I had to let him go.
I was kind of high on Buffalo at the start of the season. I didn't have Hall, but I had Dahlin too, the Swede. I thought he was going to have a good season. He hasn't been playing too good either. No one on Buffalo has been playing good, but I'm glad I'm not a Buffalo fan. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty high on Buffalo. Every single show comes back to Buffalo, talking about Buffalo.
They're our next door neighbors. I mean, I live in Buffalo.
No, it's because how bad they are. It's because how bad they are. It's because how bad they are. They have 16 points, I think, right now.
Yeah, Buffalo's horrible. I mean, we also, if you guys haven't seen that show, you had Marty Biron on, and you guys know Marty from the NHL as well as TSN. He was talking the book for Buffalo. He's like, oh yeah, Buffalo's gonna have a good season, and he made some really great points. And I think there is the case why Buffalo can be a good team, but they just can't bring it together. But anyway. I mean, we aren't a Buffalo channel, but it's just something to note because usually they are our rivals, except for this season's obviously out of the ordinary.
Hopefully by next season, I'll be able to go down to Buffalo. That's where
I like having them as our rivals, eh? I miss them.
I like going to play in Buffalo. I like going to watch those games there. It's fun. It's fun to watch games there. Would you guys rather play the Canadiens in the playoffs, or would you rather settle with the Oilers or Jets? I'll take Montreal. I think they have the new coach, obviously. They've been better since they've had the new coach. But Montreal, Toronto, it'd just be amazing to see that playoff series. Just imagine the intensity, Toronto, Montreal. And ultimately, I think it's going to be Toronto, Winnipeg in the next round. But Toronto, Montreal would be my ideal first round matchup, and it's looking like that's a possibility.
I agree. Toronto MTL. I don't have much to add on to that.
Toronto MTL. That would be an insane playoff series. Insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think it's To get out of the North Division, you're going to have to go through Winnipeg or Toronto.
It's been a long time coming since we've had some good Canadian playoff matchups. I mean, a few years ago we had Montreal-Ottawa. Remember those? Those were great matchups, even not as a Leaf fan. But we need, obviously we're getting Canadian matchups no matter what, but we need a Leafs-Montreal matchup. We need it.
Just the intensity would be insane. The hype built up around it. Imagine if they had fans, like limited capacity fans for those games.
Well, it's not happening because like what's going on. But yeah, I agree with you. That would be amazing. I mean, I wish there was fans so much sometimes because I was thinking about it a bit tonight. Like, okay, yeah, we get into Toronto versus Montreal. It was 1979 since they last played in the playoffs. That comment nails in the head. Thank you, Fonzie Bear. That is such a great comment. 1979. Almost been 50 years or 40 years, whatever. My math's bad. No matter what, that's a long time.
Yeah, and Montreal, they're a physical team. They out-hit us every time. It would be a very physical series, but I think the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think that's a series that probably goes 6 games at least.
You know who's a guy on Montreal that is another kind of like player that you don't like, but you kind of do because he plays hard, is Josh Anderson.
Yep.
That guy finishes every check. He is a workhorse. Like I remember, so maybe the last game they played them, like he's a workhorse. Got to respect a guy like that. Smash like that. Shot fleet.
He was injured all year last year. A lot of people questioned what's Montreal doing with this trade. I was skeptical of it myself, actually. I thought, did Montreal just lose this trade, sending Domi to Columbus? But right now, they look like the clear-cut winners of that deal.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
And Nevin, back to Montreal, says, my only fear if we play the Habs is if Price gets hot, and that is possible anytime. Carey Price could always get hot. He's had some struggles. He's had some struggles this season, but we all know what he's capable of doing.
There's another comment. Actually, go on, and I'll get to that after.
What did you say?
There's one right here. It says, "Yep, we lost 4-0 straight to them. Revenge is a best. Oh, I can't speak. Revenge is a dish best served cold." Oof.
How about Mark says Toronto, Boston, Simmons licking Marchand's face. Can't wait. A little role reversal, but I don't think that'd go well with the protocols in place right now.
Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Simmons probably gets suspended for that, even though he's doing it to Marchand, who's done it countless
We got
times.
a bad track history of getting suspended against Boston in recent years in the playoffs.
Yep, Nazem Kadri. We got Campbell. Jack Campbell. The man in Toronto right now. He was trending on Twitter. Probably still is. Deservingly so.
You know, it's back to the theme here, and I want people to comment what they think. Do you think that, like, what do you think the ACC, or I should say Scotiabank Arena, would be like full of fans, Campbell this hot right now? He would be the second coming of Christ. And I know it's Good Friday. I don't want to be sacrilegious, but he would be the second coming of Christ in Toronto right now. Like, people would just be freaking out about how good he's been playing, especially the fans in the stadium.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel as if there would be a lot of Jack Campbell jerseys being purchased right now.
Oh, yeah.
Number 36 jerseys being purchased. Not quite as much as 34, but I think it would be a hot product in Toronto right now. If it's not, it probably is right now on NHL.com, but in the arena, you'd see that jersey all over the place.
JB says his name is JC.
JC. Jack Campbell. I wish the Leafs could figure out their offensive issues. Rarely see teams take such drastic swings and ups and downs. Well, yes, I think the biggest part of this offensive struggle is the power play. what the power play has been doing. For the last 26 attempts, 0 goals in their past 10 games. Figure out the power play, and I think we'll get that offense figured out. But what I do like about this team is their defensive efforts. They've been blocking shots, and they're playing great hockey in front of Jack Campbell right now.
Yeah, I think D. Boyd, I mean, sometimes Leaf fans, we need a dose of reality, and that's a bit of reality that we have been swinging recently, and we've been hot as of late, but we got to keep that up. We have a slim lead in this division. Slim lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. The offense, we need to figure out the offensive issues, but a lot of this stems from the power play, and we're an offense heavy team. The offensive production is going to come. Our best players they'll score goals again. They'll continue racking up the points. They've just been on a bit of a drought right now, and the defensive play has been much improved. If we can piece together the defensive play with the offensive play, and Jack Campbell or Frederik Andersen playing like this, lights out in net, that's a recipe for success for Toronto.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Brooksy's got a great comment here too. I think that this is another thing we got to be positive about. Is he's saying the PK has been a lot better as of late. That's a great comment. I mean, we got the stats here. I think that. Do you have the stats up, or we're talking about it beforehand? Where the Leafs. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't have the penalty kill stats right now. No.
I think the Leafs have killed 11 of the last 12 power plays, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's been really well. So Leafs are hot on the power play or penalty kill, I should say.
And you know what? We saw the Maple Leafs score a shorthanded goal the other day too. That was nice. That was right after Paul Stastny got his teeth knocked out by TJ Brody, a high stick. And the penalty kill has been nice. It's been nice. That goal against on the penalty kill came on a 4-minute double liner. So taking that into consideration as well, penalty kill unit has been a great cohesive unit recently.
Oh, yeah.
Special teams need to continue being special, and if they do that, that's a recipe for success down the stretch of the season. We got a bunch of. We're going back to the goalies here. Do you think Campbell is ready to be a starter? Clarkey, can you give me your thoughts? Is Clarkey ready, or is Campbell ready to be a starter?
I don't know if I am. I probably got to get in on the ice a few more times since minor, but.
Have you ever played goalie?
No.
I did.
I'd get lit up. I do stack the pads and just try to do a butterfly the whole game, but no. I think that's a good question. I mean, we're also coming up to a big point. Regardless of what happens this season, we got Andersen expiring a contract. I know you've said multiple times you think Andersen's gone. So the front office has to make decisions. Are we going to go with Campbell as our true number one? And if we are, is Hutchison going to be our backup? Like, is that enough depth on the Leafs? I don't think so. So I think regardless, the Leafs are going to do something, whether it's the end of this season the end of trade deadline or next season, but you're going to have to make some decisions. I have to say I don't know yet on that question. It's too early to tell if he's a true starter or not. It's too early to tell.
I'll agree with that. He's trending upwards. He has been outstanding through 8 games this season, but he hasn't been available to us all season long. And the best ability in sports is availability. He needs to remain healthy and continue what he's doing. What I want to see is a goalie by committee, ride the hot hand. I want to see Frederik Andersen come back from his injury. I want to see him play well. I know what Frederik Andersen's capable of doing. He hasn't done it this year. He's been bad. He has been bad this year, but he has been better in the past. He gives you an opportunity to win games. And Jack Campbell, the way he's going right now, he's looking like he is the starting goaltender for this team. But you can't. I don't think you can completely just hand it to him for the rest of the season if Frederik Andersen comes back from injury. He's got to get his chances too.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. And a lot of people are commenting too. And we got Durev here, who is a Winnipeg fan, saying, we had Hutch in Winnipeg, and he's inconsistent. He's too inconsistent to be a backup for a team like the Leafs.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great point. I mean, if we do go with Campbell as their starter, we know that the Leafs still got to do more transactions in terms of goaltending. So, I don't know. It's too early to tell, but okay, well, Chuck Fleet's got another one here, and I want to hear your answer on this. How can he not be with an 8-0 so far this season?
Yeah, right now he is the goaltender that is the hot hand, and he's unquestionably the starter right now. Frederik Andersen's injured. I think he remains the starter when Freddie gets back and for the remainder of the season. But you got to ride the hot hand. If Frederik Andersen comes back and has a couple shutout performances and Jack Campbell, his play declines, you have to consider that he's never played more than 31 games in a season. You got to give Frederik Andersen some opportunities then.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So Jack Campbell's played under 80 games in his NHL career.
No way.
He was drafted in 2011, and I know he hasn't had
Looking it up.
He hasn't had plentiful opportunities. He's been great for us this season, and the team has been better in front of him. He's gotten the opportunity to prove himself. He's doing the right things, but down the stretch of the season, we need to see how it works out.
Yeah, you're right on that, eh? He's almost had his career high in wins. And other years he had
what is his career high in wins?
10, and he played 31 games that season on LA Kings. But I think that was kind of a bad LA Kings.
What season?
Either way, though, 2018 to 2019.
Yeah,
and this year he's played 7 games, well 8 now, and he's won 8. So he's almost beat his career high in wins. He's probably going to beat it no matter what. But he's come into form recently for sure.
And yeah, he's a former Kings player. He played for the LA Kings. So Ferdinand posts Campbell's Leaf stats: 13 wins, 10 losses, 2 overtime losses, a goals against average of 1.97. Wow. And a save percentage of .932. His statistics this year, I believe, are even more impressive. Just 8-0-0. He's 1 game away from tying the record for consecutive wins starting a season for a goaltender in Maple Leafs franchise history. So that's really impressive as well. He's been great, but we need to ride the hot hand going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. He's, we got to go with what's best for the team.
Jason Brooks says Dubas should put Freddie on the long-term injured reserve to make cap space, but it will allow the Leafs to go over the salary cap at the deadline. That's great. That's a great thing to take into consideration. Interesting thing to take into consideration. We haven't had a update recently on Frederik Andersen that I've seen. So if he's unavailable, and even if the injury is just lingering, then yeah, you do that and you try to get someone. I'd ideally like to get another goaltender because I don't trust just Jack Campbell and Michael Hutchinson throughout the playoffs. Imagine Campbell, who's been dealing with injuries throughout this season, goes down in the playoffs, and we have Michael Hutchinson, and then
that's a problem.
Velvolainen, who we got in the trade from Columbus.
That's a problem. I like, we go 3-4 goalies deep. I don't know if any team's got the depth, and obviously sometimes you get a backup in there, you plug them in, and they just go with it, and they do really well. Odds of that though are slim. So yeah, I'd be very worried, but let's just hope Andersen's healthy. And I know Drop the Puck commented earlier. Apparently, I don't know if Drop the Puck's spreading rumors or not, but he said that Elliot Friedman thinks that Andersen's injury is a lot worse than what it is. So if that's the case, maybe that's something we need to put him on long-term IR. But I don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me. like Jack Campbell's been injured for so much of this season. Frederik Andersen was the only option really available for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he was playing through some stuff, some injuries throughout the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a long-term injury.
Yeah. We don't want to wear him down either. We don't want to wear Campbell down, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we gotta give Hutch some start sometime soon. Back-to-back Sunday and Monday, and that's against Calgary. What teams are the Leafs playing next? We got 2 games against the Flames, and then we got Montreal. And then we're back to Ottawa. So back-to-back, I think you got to give Michael Hutchinson one of these 2 games, no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, you don't want to wear down Campbell. You got to give Hutchison one of those starts, one of the 3 for sure.
Okay. Interesting. Rye says, who will shine in the playoffs other than the top 4 of the Toronto Maple Leafs? And the top 4, I'm going to take core 4 here. Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, and Marner. Other than them, who's going to shine in the playoffs?
I'm going to say Hyman. I got to say Hyman has a big playoffs. I think he just has a huge impact. He's going to play on the number 1 line with Marner's and Matthew. And I just think that he's physically going to dominate. And he's going to have some chippy goals. I think players like that really help a team go deep in the playoffs. So I think he'll be key to our success. And if we do have success, it'll be partly because of him.
I was going to say him as well. There's 2 other names that I've been thinking of, and I see 2 people say it. Spezza. Look what he did in last year's Game 4 when the Maple Leafs were down 3-0, facing elimination. Drops the gloves, sparks the team, and that leads a comeback. Jason Spezza wants to win a cup, so I'm going to say him. And my other pick was Wayne Simmons. How about the Wayne train? That wrist, more time
Team
to
forget
heal up.
about him.
The Wayne train. He's going to be a difference maker for this team come playoff time. The intensity, you thought you saw it throughout this season, the regular season. He's going to take that intensity up to the next level. We're going to see Wayne Simmons make a lot of hits in the playoffs.
Yeah, Wayne Simmons is an energizer bunny. And anyone that says that, oh, Wayne Simmons is this, Wayne Simmons that, he's come back and he's going to have a huge impact in the playoffs down the stretch.
Absolutely. The Wayne train. We need him for the playoffs. And Chuck Fleet, thank you for this. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we're live here on Maple Leafs Media or any content is coming your way. Always got new stuff coming out. Tomorrow, got a trade video. Not any trade speculation, just trade history for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sure you'll like it. And some more post-game shows in the near future, but Old School says Wave Thornton.
Old School, not having that old Thornton. Jumbo Joe Grandpa. Oh, my. Come on, dude. Come on. Have a bit more respect for the guy that's been in the league for 20 years. 1,500 points. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Old School. You're right. He had a 2-minute power play shift. What's up with that? You know what? Yeah, that's you're right. He's been really slow, and it's been hard to watch. His first 9 games of the season, he had 9 points. Since then, in the past 16 games, he's had 3. Jumbo Joe, he slowed down. You got to expect that from someone who's 41 years old coming here on a league minimum contract. A league minimum contract for that veteran presence in the locker room. He's all smiles. He can keep that smile for $700,000. There's no need to waive Jumbo Joe. Just imagine the feel good. Just imagine how good it would feel seeing Jumbo Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza, and Wayne Simmons hoisting the Stanley Cup in a Maple Leafs uniform.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
Jumbo Joe Thornton. You gotta respect him. He's had an amazing career. This is a guy
you gotta respect him.
It was 15 years ago, but he had 92 assists in a single season. 92 assists.
Oh, he is definitely top 100 player ever in the NHL, easily.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. He's
Team Canada legend.
He's just it's tough. It's tough seeing him perform this way. It's been hard to watch, but he can still play a role on this team, and it's not going to be on the power play. I hope not. But he's a great thing, and he's great in the locker room. See, we can't know what someone like Jumbo. We can't know what he brings in the locker room. That's invaluable. All those years of experience. He was drafted first overall the year Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews were born.
That's crazy.
He was 18, and our favorite little players, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, were just being born. This is someone.
That's actually crazy.
A lot of experience.
Yeah, there's one thing. It isn't about Jumbo, but I quoted him earlier, so I got to correct him. Where was he? Drop the puck. He wanted me to correct. I quoted him. He said I quoted him wrong. He said he didn't know if Anderson was actually hurt that bad, but he corrected his comment saying it's going to be an update next week. So I just want to clear the air on that. I did quote him, so I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He said next week is when we'll hear. But going back to Joe Thornton, yeah, there's not much you can say about him. Like, he's a GOAT. How much can we expect from him now, too? He's 42. I think we got to see down the stretch. Wait for the playoffs, see if he can have an impact.
Yeah, I mean, his impact, it's beyond what you see on the stat sheet and on the ice. It's the locker room presence. Nick Robertson might be taking some playing time from him in the near future.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the future holds for Jumbo Joe. Probably retirement after the season and hopefully a Stanley Cup this year. But he hasn't been a positive factor on the ice recently.
No, he's been a question mark.
And Joe here says for an elite playmaker like Marner, having Jumbo to mentor him is invaluable. Exactly. Jumbo Joe Thornton, elite playmaker in his day. He still knows how to pass the puck. He's done it his whole life. His whole life. He had 92 assists in a season.
That's insane.
That's great for Mitch Marner to have as a mentor.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Let's get to 50. Let's get to 50 likes here. Smash that like button. We're at 48. We just need 2 likes. There's got to be 2 people out there. Just smash it. Please, just smash it. Come on. For Jumbo Joe, maybe if we get to 50, Jumbo will start playing better and pot a few goals. Let's hope. 49. Come on. Let's get to 50. If we get to 50, I'll scream. I'll wake up everyone in my house. I'll scream. I'll do it.
Okay, Clarkey. I mean,
fuck! I gotta scream now. Oh, shit. Fuck! I said I would. Woo! There we go.
You're wild.
I'm gonna get slapped tomorrow, but whatever.
Would you go after Pekka Rinne for insurance? Last time I checked, Pekka Rinne was on the Nashville Predators untouchables list. I don't know why, if they want him to retire there. And also, Nashville's also trying.
They don't want that geezer.
They're kind of making a bit of a playoff push right now, so they might be asking for more if you're trying to acquire a player from Nashville now, because they were really low in the standings earlier in the season, but they've been making a push recently.
I'm checking the standings right now. What are they at right now?
I think they might be in a playoff spot right now.
1 sec. They're 4th in their division. Yeah. It's tight though. It's them, Chicago, Columbus, Dallas. They're all fighting for one.
Dallas has been a bit of a disappointment this year.
Dallas only played 34 games, eh? What's up with that?
That's also because all the postponements at the beginning of the season.
Oh, okay.
They started off the season postponed, and I mean, also, like Tyler Sagan out long term, Ben Bishop out long term. They've got a bunch of injuries in Dallas too. Radulov.
It's sad to see because they were so close last season. I know you're a bit of you like Dallas a bit just because they're a pretty good franchise and whatnot. But
I don't like Dallas, but I put a bet on the Dallas Stars to win the Stanley Cup before the season started last year, and I was really disappointed. Really disappointed come the Stanley Cup Finals when they lost.
What do you guys think? And guys and gals, my bad. What do you think of people that come out as Dallas fans? You don't hear about them for years because Dallas has not been a good team. But then all of a sudden you start seeing bumper stickers, people posting about them. It's like, how are you a Dallas fan for all this time? No way you were.
I've never met a Dallas Stars fan.
Well, I saw like 3 or 4 bumper stickers last year. I was like, where were these Dallas fans?
Well, when we went to the Vegas Golden Knights game, we went to the Vegas Golden Knights Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that was a great time.
A couple of years back, Leafs won 3-1. That was a conversation we were having. Like, why are all these Vegas fans here? There's people with Vegas jerseys. And
I think it was the first season or second season.
Second season, yeah.
Second season, yeah.
How did all these people become Vegas fans?
There were people sitting behind us that were Vegas fans. I mean, we were chirping them, but they were behind us. I remember they heard us. They were just laughing at us, but we're like, look at these stupid Vegas fans. And we looked back, and there's like a family of 5 Vegas fans. So I felt kind of bad, but they're like, oh, no worries about that. I think they were Andre Fleury's cousins or something like that. I don't know. I think they're related or something.
Well, that could be it. Could be it. Who knows? Van Wagner's is what the Hurt Locker says, as well as Ferdinand. And yeah, I mean, what it also could be is like, say for instance, say someone was a big Marc-Andre Fleury fan. They just, when he was drafted, I'm a Vegas fan now. Is that how it works?
Yeah. No, I get that. And the other thing I would say is that, and you guys can comment, and I'd like to hear your opinion on this. I think Vegas did a pretty good job of branding their team. Like the Golden Knights, I think it's actually kind of a cool concept jersey. It's in Vegas. It's kind of like a big...
Have you seen the reverse retro?
No.
They're horrible, but continue it.
Well, I was just going to say, Vegas is kind of like a big show. Like, it's kind of like, you go to Vegas to have a good time. And, like, even when you're watching some of their games, it looked like a freaking Vegas show, right? What I would say, though, is do you think the Seattle Kraken are going to be like that? Like, do you think the Seattle Kraken brand is going to be able to sell outside of Seattle? I don't know. I don't like the name. I hate the name.
There's been a bunch of talk about it.
You don't care?
I don't think it will be as successful as Vegas, but I think it has potential to work out nicely. I mean, think about the location just under Vancouver. I could see them forming a big rivalry. A lot of fans from Canada traveling down. You ever seen a Blue Jays game in Seattle? It's invaded with Blue Jays fans. That's something I could see happening. Not necessarily good for the Seattle fans, but I'm not sure how it'll work out. It'll be interesting to see. JB, Bills in Vegas for an NFL game. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have been at that game last year.
Really?
Yeah, I would have went. But yeah, hockey hit Vegas first. Vegas was hit by hockey first, and the Raiders followed. First professional sports team in there was the Vegas Golden Knights, and I think that has a lot to do with their success.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is, you got to have teams there. It's interesting. I've never been there. I know you've been there. Isn't it not just one big show? Like,
yeah, it's an interesting place. It's an interesting place for sure. Old School says LA Kings reverse retro is the nicest. Do you have an opinion on what the nicest jersey is?
I'm going to look them up again. I remember looking at the start of the season, but I have to look at them again.
I agree that it's LA.
There's the purple one, right? LA's purple.
Yeah, purple with the Gretzky generation logo.
There was one I loved that you hated. I don't know which one that was.
Oh, you like Minnesota, didn't you?
Yeah, I like the Minnesota one.
You like
I
Ottawa,
love.
too.
I like them. Ottawa, Minnesota. There's another one.
Look at Vegas's Vegas one. Like they're
The
bad.
Jets one's bad too. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're ugly.
Montreal's was good though. I gotta admit, Montreal's was good. Coyotes was interesting.
Coyotes. Oh, Austin Matthews loves those.
Yeah, we got a chirp in here. Someone said Coyotes was interesting or something like that.
What do you think of the Ducks reverse retro jerseys? Luke wants to know.
Which one's that one?
It's the white and baby blue one with like the weird duck on it. It's interesting.
I don't know. Oh
flying duck.
Yeah, I see that. I don't like it.
Oh, me neither.
No, I don't like it. I don't like a lot of them. Like it's just the marketing shit, you know.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Joe wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Avs doing the Nordiques retro? I don't like it personally. I love the history behind the jersey, but I don't like that it's the Colorado Avalanche wearing a Nordiques jersey. Like, you're not the Quebec Nordiques. I know you were at one point, but it's a different team.
I agree with you on that. I think it's a little bit of it. They didn't do it right. They didn't do it right.
Old school.
Vegas is ugly too. Now I'm seeing Vegas is.
Yeah, old school likes the Whalers jerseys, but I think that it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing as the Nordiques one because it's Carolina.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't like Toronto's either, though. You guys like Toronto's? I don't like Toronto's.
They're really bad. Hey there, Landon. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's coming out. Maple Leafs Media. Let's talk NHL wants to know, who thinks the Leafs really need to trade for a defenseman at the deadline? You'd personally rather a cheap winger. Clarkey, do you think the Maple Leafs need a defenseman, or would you rather go with a winger?
We need some forward backup here, I'd say. Let's talk. Throw in a name on that cheap winger. Let's hear some names here. I like to hear some names too when you throw in a suggestion, but I think forward. How about you?
A name I've heard a lot is Kyle Palmieri from the New Jersey.
Oh yeah,
Devils.
yeah. I've heard that.
I would rather get a left winger. Solidify this top 6 forward group. Find someone to put with John Tavares and William Nylander. I know the Alex Galchenyuk, it's looked alright at times, but you could upgrade and you can move him down the lineup. It just really.
It's been hit or miss. It's been hit or miss with Galchenyuk. I mean, he just started off, but it's tough. It's tough to guy that's trying to rebound his career.
Yeah, exactly, and it's Joe says, I hated TO's reverse retros at first. Now I just really dislike them. I mean, yeah, I've been strong against them. Really strong against them. I
don't need that gray in there. That just ruined it. Like, if you haven't seen it, I don't know. Yeah, the gray just. Detroit's is bad too. It looks like a practice jersey. Oh my gosh.
I think there's 2 or 3 videos on this channel about the reverse retro jerseys and just reactions to it.
Like, the only thing I'd say about the reverse retros is, like, one, why? Like, why did you just do a whole release? I get it's marketing and everything and whatever, but 2 is, like, who was making the shots? Like, sometimes you got to think, like, who are the people designing these jerseys? Because I question sometimes if they know the history of hockey or the colors, and I'm looking at some of the jerseys they're trying to replicate, and it doesn't even look like they even were close to it. So it is what it is. But
yeah, there's 2 teams in the whole NHL that have just 2 colors in their jerseys, and that's Detroit and Toronto. And these reverse retro jerseys, I believe both organizations actually had it. They had gray, put in their jerseys. Gray and silver, put in both these jerseys. I just think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Or you know what? You know what I would even like to see if we were gonna do an alternate jersey. Do you remember? Well, I know you remember these jerseys. I'm just trying to think of how to describe them to you. Thomas Caberlet, Brian McCabe era. The alternate white jersey with the blue shoulders. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I'm
The
looking it
different,
up again, right? But I think I know what you're talking about.
the alternate jersey.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. With that leaf that was like different.
Yeah, bring that back.
Yeah.
Bring that back instead of the reverse retro.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I mean, yeah. There's a lot of Leafs jerseys. Like, the Leaf jersey's classic. It's just the reverse retro missed the mark.
You know there's been red on a Maple Leafs jersey before?
I see that. I see that when I looked it up.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Had something to do with war. Like a tribute to the war.
The vets?
Yeah. That was the red printed.
Dude, no, I didn't see. The Leafs have a North jersey OVO edition. I didn't even see that.
What?
The Leafs have a North OVO edition. It's like you know how the Raptors have their jersey that says North on it. There's a Leaf one apparently like that.
Is this just like a?
Or maybe it was just a design. I don't think they actually made it.
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, okay.
We saw it. We probably would have saw it. Like I don't think it's a thing. But we've been on here an hour 26 minutes. It's been a fun post-game show. For any of you that are just tuning in, might have missed it, I'm going to show the Jason Spezza shootout winner once again.
Campbell goes to 8-0. There's the only goal of the shootout as Connor Hellebuck has this go off his.
Vintage beauty from Jason Spezza. Big win for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 2-1 in a shootout. Great goaltender matchup tonight between Connor Hellebuck and Jack Campbell. Looking forward to another great game against the Calgary Flames this weekend. We got a back-to-back next weekend, rather. Or I'm not sure what the exact day is. It's not Saturday, though. But we got a back-to-back coming up, and it'll be against Calgary Flames. Then we got the Montreal Canadiens. So stay tuned for those post-game shows. As I said, Kelly Rudy will be joining the show on Thursday, April 15th. I'll have an interview with Kelly Rudy. So if you have any questions, prepare them. Leave them in the comments section throughout the show. And tomorrow I will be releasing a video about the 5 best trades for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the team franchise history. But Clarkey, thank you for coming on with me for this past hour and a half. You want to give your closing statements to the viewers?
Yeah, just say thanks for everyone for commenting. There's a lot of great comments tonight, and yeah, thank you for having me on. And everyone, just glad that we got the dub tonight. Sunday, Monday, we are back. So we're gonna wait. No hockey tomorrow night on a Saturday night. That kind of hurts, but yeah, thank you, sir, everyone, for commenting. It's another great show. Thanks to you guys as well as you, Jake, and looking forward to seeing those videos this weekend. And Kelly Rudy, I'm hyped for that. That's going to be a great show. So, yeah, let's keep it going with Maple Leafs Media. Stay tuned. I know I will be.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Clarkey. Hope to see you on the channel again real soon. Big dubs for the Maple Leafs tonight. Sunday, Monday, we face the Calgary Flames. Let's continue rolling. Let's continue playing like fire, as they would say. As for all you, thank you for watching this video for the past hour and a half. Couldn't do this without you and all your great comments, all your engagement. You all make this possible. Thank you. Stay safe out there. Go Leafs, go. And until next time,